I want to bring in criminal defense attorney and legal analyst Jonna Spilbor. It's always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Before we even get into this trial and the verdict in this case, what is your reaction to hearing him come on the air with NewsNation's Dan Abrams and saying that he wouldn't have done anything differently? 17 people are dead.
Yeah, I expect that kind of response. And the reason why I expect that is that was his defense, basically. In essence, his defense was, I didn't do anything wrong. So after a verdict of this nature where he prevailed, he won, he's going to maintain that defense in any sort of interview. So I am not surprised by it. What I am surprised by is, as you mentioned, this is such an emotional case, which led to this emotional verdict. And I would, hope that he would show some emotion toward the parents of the 14 children who died. 17 people altogether, 14 of them were young children. This was a tragedy that was relived all over again with this trial.
And I want to ask you, this was the first trial in U.S. history against a law enforcement officer for their conduct during an on-campus shooting. Do you think that the jury was right in their not guilty verdict?
So this is tough for me to say, but yes, I do. This was a very, very novel application of the law. So he was basically charged with, remember, he was not a shooter. He did not cause these tragic deaths. He was charged with basically child neglect. And we don't normally see those charges in cases where there are school shootings, and we've never seen that before. We see them in cases where parents either abuse their children or they don't provide care for their children. But the prosecution decided to try to put this square peg in a round hole in this situation to right such an egregious wrong. It was a long shot from the beginning. It was Mark Eiglarsh's case to lose. And full disclosure, Mark is a friend of mine and he did a great job. So I'm not surprised by the verdict at all. In the future, I don't think we'll see these charges again, but what might happen is we may see changes in the law that will put a further burden on resource officers in these instances.
And does this set any sort of precedent? So nationwide now, are resource officers, if they are standing near a school shooting as it is taking place, do they have no obligation to intervene or try to save lives?
No, I don't think that's the message that's sent by this verdict. They do have an obligation. They have an obligation to do their job. The nuance in this case is the officer said, look, I was doing my job, but he had corroborative evidence that it was very difficult to tell where the shots were coming from. So if you're going to run around crazy and be ineffective, that's no different than what he did by standing still. And that was an effective defense given this particular law. Again, this is a tragedy all the way around. This doesn't make it any better for the parents. But in terms of having a correct verdict under the law, the jury did get this right.
Okay, I really do appreciate that distinction. And you sort of spoke to this, the dispute that we heard between the defense and prosecution about whether Peterson could tell where the shots were coming from. That sound ricochets, it's very difficult. What about the question about whether he simply could have asked the students streaming out of the school what was happening inside?
Yeah, that's another tough call, right? Because you have people, children, who are panicking, who are trying to get away, trying to get to safety. Should there have been more officers there? Should there have been more communication within the school, within the officers to try to determine where this killer was? That's probably an argument for another day, not the subject in particular of these particular charges. I mean, there were failures all around, and hopefully they will be fixed in the future. This was not the case to fix them.
And attorneys for Peterson have called the prosecutor's case against him, quote, political. Do you think that was the case here? Political in what way?
I'm going to disagree with my friend Mark on this. I don't think it was political. I think the prosecution's heart was in the right place. This was a tragedy of monumental proportion, and they wanted it righted on every regard. Now, that said, will Scot Peterson be sued in civil court if he hasn't been already? Absolutely. Will he be liable for negligently doing his job in civil court? Probably. So there is going to be redress for the parents in that regard. It just did not rise to the level of criminality under these statutes.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.